Hi friends, this week we're going to talk about the letter D. Here's our little alpha friend. This is Dudley Duck. Dudley Duck. Remember that the letter D says D, D, D. Here's some pictures of words that begin with the D sound. This is a desk, desk. Do you hear the D at the beginning of the word? Desk. This is dig, dig. You hear the D at the beginning of the word, dig. This is one we've talked about a lot, dog, dog. This is a doll, doll. And the last one, the arrow is pointing at a dot, dot. And all of those, the D sound is at the beginning of the word. What if you hear the word hand, hand? Do you hear the D at the end of the word? Hand. What about the word land, land? Do you hear the D at the end of the word? Here's some more pictures. Now this is the picture of a jar. Do you hear the D sound at the beginning of the word? No. Do you hear it at the end of the word? Jar. No. At the end of the word you hear and at the beginning of the word you hear J, the letter J. What about this one? This is the number 10. Do you hear the D sound at the beginning or the end of the word 10? No. At the beginning you hear t, t, and at the end of 10 you hear n. Now what about this one? I did this one just a minute ago. This is a hand, hand. Do you hear the D at the end of the word hand? Yes, yes. Now, let's look right over here. We're going to practice for just a minute writing the letter D. Okay. Now the first one that I'm going to do is going to be the lowercase d. And when you're doing this, you will start in the middle at the dotted line, right here. Do not pick up your pencil and then come down. Okay. Again, you'll start at the middle of the line, the dotted line up, try to trace it all the way back down like that. Again, and remember you can make a little dot like I do to help me know where to get started. Keep that big kind of round bubble looking part within this dotted line and that bottom line. Up and down. That's the lowercase d. Now the uppercase D, remember, is going to touch this top line and this bottom line. Now on this one, you can pick up your pencil or your marker. Start at the top, go down, meet back up, and I say you're kind of making a belly on it. Start at the top line, go down. You can pick your marker or pencil up, just like that. Think of some friends in your class whose names begin with the letter D. I know in Mrs. Armstrong's class, we have two friends. We have David. David actually has a D at the beginning and the end of his name. And then we have Devin. Think in your class, Mrs. Kaler's friends, do you have any friends who begin with the letter D? I'm thinking of one right now. What about Dan? Dan, okay. So this is our lowercase d and our uppercase D. Now, I'm going to scoot this down very quickly, and we're going to look at this little flip chart. This is all about the letter D. Here's our Dudley Duck, okay? Now, Dudley Duck has found some things on his hike that have the D sound. I'm going to name some things that are on this picture, and we're going to listen to see if those pictures begin with the duh sound and if they end with the duh sound. Here's the first one. This is a deer, deer. Do you hear the duh at the beginning of deer? Yes, we do. Now, what sound do you hear at the end of deer, deer? It's an and R, so it's not a D. That word only begins with the duh sound. What about this picture here? Toad, toad. Does toad begin with the duh sound? No, it begins with t. Does it end with the duh sound? T, toad. Yes, it does. What about this one? Duck, duck. Does duck begin with the duh sound? Yes, it does. Does it end with the duck sound? No, it does not end with the duck sound. It actually ends with k, and in this word that is made with a C and a K. Let's look at this one. Pond, pond. Do you hear the duh at the beginning of pond? No, you hear a p at the beginning of pond. What about the end of pond? Pond. Yes, there is a D. And then this last one is bed. Excuse me, it's not the last one. I didn't see that little dog there. This one is bed, bed. Does that begin with the duh sound? No, it begins with buh, but it does end with duh. And here's our dog that I was trying to forget. Sorry, doggy. Dog. Does it begin with duh? Yes, it does. We looked at a picture of a dog a little bit ago. What about the ending sound in dog? G. No, I hear g. G. We'll be talking some more this week about Dudley Duck and the duh sound.